What the story, guys? I just got done watching Transformers 1 and I want to give you a few thoughts on what I thought about it. As I said in the shorts that I stuck up, whoever's behind the marketing team for this really needs to be given out because the first trailer does not sell this film at all. It's far more in the tone of the second one. It has its faults and it will annoy a few people how fast and loose with the lore. And by God, you will hate Bumblebee. I mean, the way he's portrayed in this film, I'm starting to think it's a backroom joke on why he had his throat ripped out in the movies. He's the source of an awful lot of cringe in this. But him and a few pratfalling aside, the rest of this film is done very seriously. In fact, the only really issue I have is that the tonal difference between when they're doing the pratfalling and trying to do the forced humour and when they just actually try and tell you a story about what's essentially a rebellion. Hemsworth and the rest of the cast provide the voice work perfectly. Everything, the animation is gorgeous. Cybertron looks fantastic. It really was nice to see them integrate stuff from, say, like the animated series and the computer games. I think the biggest nod of the head for that would be the kind of transforming roads that just unfold in front of cars as they're driving. I just see specifically in terms of the trains and the race. But all in all, it's very fluid looking and it really does look well. You really get the sense of Iacon as a city and particularly get down to things like the mines. So aesthetically speaking, there's no problems at all. Like I said, it's messing with the lore, which may annoy a few people. Simply like, who took over the council, which Prime was the traitor, who actually led the uprising of the miners, because it's not Megatron in this. So it's kind of its own thing, mishmashing all the things that have come before in terms of the comic books and the cartoons. I think the best thing it's got going for it, though, is its flow. This is a very, very well done film. One of my biggest complaints lately of a lot of films I've gone to see is I've always said that it's maybe 20 minutes too long. This is an hour and a half, roughly around an hour and a half. You get in there, you get out. It's a great combination of story and action, and you don't feel bored at all. So I think that's its main strength. I think a lot of people go in there and be quite happy with how quickly this thing can go by. And in fact, that will probably help it with repeat viewing. The story is primarily about Megatron and Optimus and how they meet, how they actually go from friends to enemies, how they end up leading their various factions. I'm not going to go spoiler on this, I don't want to ruin it. But it's done very well. And there's a great deal of heart to it, I have to admit. The culmination of the story really does play out well, the final battle. It sets up the status quo. And indeed, it seems set up for a sequel if they want, in relation to what they're going to do with the quintessons. And all in all, it's a very satisfying film. The cast is grand and small, which allows the film to stay nice and focused. But the best thing as well, because it's animated, you see an awful lot of cameos. And there's a great scene near the end where you see everybody get their cogs and they basically transform into what the more recognisable characters we'd know, who you're kind of hinting at when you see them earlier on. Guys like Sideswipe and Ironhide. I'm not going to say it's the best Transformers film of all time, but I will say it's a good rousing film. You'll come over feeling really good. And it's great to see a good, honest-to-goodness, heroic Optimus Prime. I don't think it's for everyone. If you're like a really hardcore G1 or something, like I said, it does mess with the lore, so it might annoy you to see how much they've messed around with things. But all in all, as an amalgam of most of everything that's gone before, it's a pretty good interpretation of what Transformers is. And if Hasbro were intending this to be a kind of a introduction to a new generation of kids who want to get on board the brand, they've definitely done their job with this one. So there you go, guys. Like I said, not the best film, but very good. When I seen that first trailer, I was thinking this thing is going to look more like Pixar than Marvel. This is far more like Marvel. In fact, some parts of it are really dark, making it feel more like the comic books in certain spaces. But there you go, guys. That's my feelings on Transformers 1. Thank God not the cringe fest that first trailer looked like. I think it's going to do very well. I don't think it's doing as good as Deadpool and Wolverine and Inside Out 2, but it's going to do very well at the box office. I just got that feeling from it. And it's probably the best step in the right direction that Hasbro done since Transformers Prime. And I'd hardly tell you to check it out. So take care. If you thought you liked it, let us know what you think in the comment section and like and subscribe. Take care.